I didn't even realize I had shame in my life, yet I believed certain things about myself, never realizing that that indicated that shame was there inside of me. I believed things like, I'm inadequate, I'm not good enough, and it wasn't too many years ago that I was speaking at a Christian conference, and when I got through speaking, a woman came up to me and said, Marilyn, that was a great teaching you did, one of the best that I've heard on that subject. Well, I almost didn't know how to handle that, because if I said, oh, thank you, that would have sounded like I was bragging, or you know, it just was hard for me to receive that kind of a compliment. So I said to her, thank you. Then I looked down and I said, but it was nothing. She gently took hold of my arm and she said, Marilyn, do you know what your response tells me? And I said, no. And she said, well, first of all, when I give a compliment, I mean it. She said, I wouldn't have told you that if I hadn't felt that. She said, but your response tells me that you have a shame-based perspective on life. I went to myself, shame-based perspective on life? What's that? And so on my way home, I remember driving and talking to the Lord and saying, Lord, do I have shame in my life? And hey, isn't shame a good thing sometimes, you know? And anyway, as I processed that, and I got home, I ran upstairs and I said, Lord, is there any shame in my life? I really don't know what shame truly is, but this lady said it, so I need to process that. And I remember getting down on the floor in my little prayer closet and my face in the rug fuzz, and just saying, Lord, is there shame? And that was the day He opened the door and showed me that yes, there was shame in my life, and that there was a way to deal with it if I was willing. And so that was the first that I realized that any negative thoughts that we have about ourselves are usually an indication that shame is lurking inside of us somewhere. Psychologists tell us that shame usually is conscious to a child around age 4. Well, it's about age 5 that I had some things in my life that really started some roots of shame growing in my life. We had a guest in our home, and my parents were away, and this guest sexually abused me. And this guest said to me, don't you ever tell anybody, because if you do, Marilyn, you're going to be in big trouble. Well, I had a great relationship with my mom. It wasn't like the same kind of relationship I had with my dad, but even that, there was so much fear put into me from that I decided I better obey that person. He had such power over me. And so I never told my mom, I never told anyone what had happened. And I locked that secret away, and that shame just began to grow and grow and grow in me. Because see, I didn't know at that age that that was shame. I didn't know that I could share that with someone and I could feel safe. But instead, I felt like I needed to hide. I needed to be covered, and I couldn't let anyone know how bad I was. When that woman had the courage to speak into my life and to tell me that I had a shame-based perspective of life, it was the best thing that she could have done. And she said it with such grace and truth, so I was able to receive it, even though I didn't know exactly what she was talking about. But that day, when I went into my closet later that afternoon and asked the Lord if there was shame in my life, He very gently began to open a door of my heart and allowed me to peer in. And it was very dark in there. But as the darkness settled, I could see what I called a shipwreck on the bottom of the ocean of my heart. And the Lord showed me again that time of being abused by that guest in our home. And it wasn't like I had forgotten that memory. It wasn't a repressed memory. It was always there. I just had tucked it away and kept trying to hide that. And it was, you know, I was getting tired of trying to hold it. And I'd hold my arm against that door and wouldn't let anybody know. But the Lord said, Marilyn, let's look at that memory together. And it was like the Lord said to me again, not in an audible voice, but as I was in prayer, He said, how did you feel during that time? And I said, Father, I felt powerless. I couldn't do anything. And I listened, and the Lord said, I one day was rendered powerless as well. And I said, but Lord, my arms were held down. And he said, my arms were held down too. And then I said, but Lord, you don't understand. There was somebody else in that room that I cried out to, and they didn't help me, and they could have. And I thought, I've got the Lord there. And then he said, there were people all around the cross, and no one helped me either, Marilyn. I understand your shame. I understand what you've gone through. And he said, I want you to know I have scorned all the shame on the cross. And he said, I went to the pit too, the pit of hell after I died. And you don't have to stay in that pit any longer because, Marilyn, you have resurrection power available to you. It was so freeing for me because I was rendered so powerless, and shame makes you want again to cover. You feel like you have no power. You feel like you can't do anything. And God's saying the same power that raised Jesus from the dead is available to you. Now you go live in the freedom of that power.